What's going on, Buff Nation? Welcome back to another video. So today we had an interview between RG3 and Coach Prime, and by golly, it was a fantastic interview, just about over an hour long. We're not going to touch about everything in this video, just some hot points. There is a little segment where he talks about what Coach Nick Saban brought to him, his mentorship. Phenomenal piece of the interview. Also, again, just two guys talking ball and their thought process on all the moving pieces. He addresses the NFL talk. We have a lot to go over, so sit back and relax. And of course, play my theme music, baby. What's going on, guys? Again, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be discussing, of course, the first order of business, which Bama has had a ton of guys enter into the transfer portal. A slew of them. Bama, Washington, Arizona. Arizona has eight players in like 10 minutes hit into the transfer portal. And RG3 kind of asked him, like, hey, what's happening here? Where are we headed? A lot of people are talking about Caleb Downs and Caden Proctor, the offensive lineman. Is there a potential of one of those two big studs landing in Colorado? We'll talk about that. Then, of course, defensive coordinator update. We're a little bit closer, it seems like, to finalizing that deal. Not quite sure yet, but he hints a little bit. So we'll talk about that as well. And then the big one, the big whale, which we've heard this before, but Coach Prime opens up about it a little bit more about coaches talking down on Coach Prime. Again, we've heard about this. This isn't anything new, but he kind of gives us a little more insight than what we have had previously. So great show, jam-packed, love it. Let's play this first clip where he talks about Deion Sanders tweeting at Bama players and just the cost of these guys surely in the transfer portal and just how it's complete mayhem. Take a listen.
Out there recruiting Alabama players, and I want to know, what's your pitch? What's your pitch to those Bama players who are thinking about going to the portal? How you going to get them to come to Colorado?
I texted him, man, you crazy. That's what I texted him when I saw this tweet. I was at the crib in Texas, and I saw that. I said, man, you crazy. He said, we got to win, man. We got to win. I mean, that's what he's true. On. But you talking about probably our best recruiter is Shador and Travis. Like, kids want to play with them. They want to get down with them. That's why the whole offensive line has been changed.
So the tweet that he's referring to is Deion Sanders tweeted out, said, hey, Alabama players, tap in. Like, this was moments after Saban hit the hay, and that portal opened up, and man, it has exploded full of Alabama players. I mean, I'm talking top tier, top of the cream of the crop talent has hit that transfer portal, and by golly, they are just getting ravaged through right now. So a couple things I do want to talk about, some interesting pieces here. Later on in the interview, RG3 kind of makes a comment of like, yeah, these guys are asking for 50, 100,000. Coach Prime goes, for a walk-on maybe. And look, that is to be rumored that Caleb Downs, safety out of Alabama, a freshman safety, is asking for damn near 7 figures. We're talking a milli. Now, I don't know how many years that is, but golly, $1 million after 1 year of production on the football field. It was hella production on the football field. And Coach Prime cut again. He got the reason he says this. He goes, "Look, this is a lot of money. Like, these guys are asking for a ton more than he's like it's something I've ever seen before." So the chances of landing these two big guys, Caden Proctor, who seems to be going back to Iowa, Caleb Downs, who looks like it's a Georgia lock, but Ohio State has somehow put their hat into the 10 as well. We'll see. But look, we've been talking about the big splash. Could there be one more big splash from Coach Prime? If it is, Caleb Downs would be that would be a cannonball for the ages. It would drain the pool. it would drain the pool if one of those guys were to land. Something interesting to keep an eye on as well is if you take a look at Texas, they have landed anybody and everybody in the transfer portal. And I was like, they've got to be at capacity for scholarship. We've talked this on the show plenty of times. 85 scholarships is the max. Right? They're 87. So I know they can cut away, maybe cut a guy, take one away. But here's the thing. You move a guy to a preferred walk-on, doesn't really matter. He's rolling in $500,000. You see the loophole here? The scholarship before was to pay for their way, pay for college, do all these things. If they go, hey, we're going to make you a preferred walk-on because we don't have scholarship positions to hand out to you, but we'll cover everything. So it's like you're getting a scholarship, but not really. Not really. Something to think about as well with these big schools that have just a plethora of money and that are able to just stack them up and just keep paying everybody. A&M seems to be throwing a lot of money around. Texas, like I said, is throwing a lot of money around. It's the wild, wild west, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll see if they're able to pull it off here. I loved hearing him talk about, again, just Shador tweeting that. It's like, Coach, it's like, Dad, I want to win. I want to rock and roll here. Now, let's move on over to defensive coordinator noise. Obviously, they addressed that at their first team meeting, and now everybody's kind of wondering who's it going to be, what's happening. And he also alludes in this interview, which I don't show, again, because people are kind of criticizing Coach Prime, which, look, I mean, with him being in the spotlight, there's always going to be criticism. It's just kind of the way of the land. And he addresses that as well, too. It's like, it is what it is. But he's like, there's plenty of coaches that don't have, or plenty of teams that don't have coaches in positions right now currently. LSU's looking for people. He mentions Auburn. There's plenty of schools, right? I mean, Washington's getting a complete overhaul. Alabama's getting a complete overhaul. Arizona is now getting a complete overhaul. Michigan could be getting a complete overhaul. I mean, it's everywhere right now. So he obviously talks about taking his time, but again, he also says we're close. We're right there.
Yeah, I got 3 DCs.
And do you know who it? Do you want to announce that right now? Do you know who it might be?
No, it might be several different 3 people. It might be out of 3 people right now, but they're in interviews as well. So
okay,
they're really good. They really are relational, and they really know this game.
So he talked about that. Obviously, when he addressed the team, that I don't want to make a fast decision. I want to make a right decision. So it sounds like it's down to 3. Obviously, that Warren Sapp drama, I don't think he was going to be a DC. I think that was more of a defensive line situation happening. Haven't heard any more of that since we talked about it in the last show. But sounds like it's close. He did say when he addressed the team, it will be happening in the next few days. That was on Monday, I believe. We're headed into Thursday, now Friday. Still no news. Doesn't mean we won't have one in the next few days, but I would expect that news to drop sooner rather than later. The team is back. They are working out. He did mention that in the interview as well. Back with strength and conditioning coach. Again, he has time to hire a defensive coordinator to bring all that in. So that is all on that. Now, the thickness, the juiciness. Coaches coming after Coach Prime. Players recording interviews. We got it all. Take a listen.
I don't rock with it. I don't subscribe to it. Like, I don't allow our coaching staff to ever comment on another school. You don't have to put another school down to put us up. I don't play that. Like, our staff knows.
That's true.
Where you get fired, let me hear you talking about another institution with a kid. Now, kids have recorded conversations from head coaches, not just assistants, head coaches, downing us and selling us out and just talking about us like a dog. And, I would politely just call the head coach, look at man, I don't really know you. I wish the best for you, but be careful because when these kids bring phones into your meeting room, you're exposed to certain things. I'm not going to put you out there, but just keep my name out your mouth.
So I feel like Coach Prime is constantly changing the game. And here's another one because he just now probably put everything on notice. It's like, shit, we're letting these kids in this room. And they're heading off and we're, playing our interview like, hey, Coach so-and-so said he was going to pay me this. Now, I'm not saying, like, this obviously doesn't do that, but look, just say, hey, Coach so-and-so, they're going to pay me this. No, they didn't. Play. So, yeah, they did. They also said this, too, about you, Coach. Look, we talked about this before. It's part of the game. It's, like he said, it's not needed, right? It's not needed to step on somebody else to step upwards. Unfortunately, that is the world that we live in. I love the fact, that's kind of like how I like to function. If you're going to run your mouth, I'm going to just call you out on it. Like, hey, I don't really care how you function or how you operate, but hey, Will Smith him. Keep my name out your damn mouth. That's your wife's name, because obviously talking about you. But look, I love it. I love hearing about it. Obviously, we'll never know who it is. Nobody's ever going to go, that's not true. Well, how do you know it's not true? Because he didn't say he was talking about you, and now you're coming out and saying something. So we'll never, hear any more about it. But it will be interesting to see how other interviews are going to be conducted now. Coach Prime has said, hey, he probably said, hey, leave your phone out there. I'm not dealing with that. Also, too, think about the kid, right? He's going around recording interviews or recording those things. Probably hurts that kid as being recruited as well, too. So you hate to hear head coaches kind of down talking. Like, I'd expect maybe like an assistant coach or other guys to kind of shoot the shit a little bit and say, hey, man, things are kind of crazy out there in Colorado. You don't want to go there. You don't want to play for that. You don't want to play in that conference. I understand that. Downplaying a particular person, hey, like he says, you're making it personal. And there's no need, there's no need for it, right? Your insecurities are showing. ladies and gentlemen. So, look, fantastic interview with RG3 and Coach Prime. Always a blast to just kind of see him talk about the process and talk about what's going on. That's what, again, makes him so exciting to watch and to follow, because there's constantly just information and news being brought forward. And what I love, too, is, and a lot more coaches are starting to do this, is they're completely transparent with the entire situation that's happening, especially with NIL. Like, he makes the comment about 50,000, and Coach Prime's like, no, it's much more than that. It's sickening what these kids are asking for. And it is. You hear about it. And look, because it's so wild, wild west now, why not talk about it? Why not, expose it to a certain extent? It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love it. It's fun to follow. Let me know down in the comments section how you guys are feeling. Also, huge shout out to all of you for giving me feedback on the offensive line video. I did forget the center, Tyler Brown. I was highly reprimanded for it, deservedly so, and I do apologize. But your feedback on it was overall great. You loved it. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll be doing all of that for most of the position groups headed into this offseason. So appreciate y'all. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.